So this video is on the basic perspective, basic philosophy, if you will, of purpose black belt. So I've been coaching on this for years. You know, in my own life, it's been the central question for a long time, painfully before I answered it, and then wonderfully when I started to get there. I've realized there's different ways of looking at this question, yeah? And there's some that I'm pretty uncomfortable with, some that just don't work for me. The basic perspective I see a lot on purpose work is something I'd call something like spiritual fatalism, or kind of US religious New Age fatalism. And it's basically this kind of philosophy of you're here for a reason, God has a plan for you. And I kind of use that accent because it is very American. If you think of the kind of people that started the United States, they were religious lunatics, basically, who were thrown out of Europe and put into America. And they felt like they had this sense of mission, and killed all the Native Americans, and this was their whole thing, right? There was a crusade across the country and wiped out all the people. They enslaved another group of people. And that basic philosophy of we have a special mission, we are unique, American exceptionalism it's sometimes called, is really at the heart of a lot of purpose work, and it just doesn't work for me. I'm uncomfortable with it on the level of it sounds kind of egoic, special me purpose, and also on the level of, I'm not sure if it's true. I'm not sure that the universe or God or whatever you believe in has a special purpose for me. Now, it might sound surprising doing a course on purpose, right? So I would consider myself more agnostic, yeah? So I don't know that there's some bigger power in the world that has a purpose for me. And anyone who says they do is a fucking liar, because nobody knows that for sure. That's a religious fundamentalist point of view. And even if on the surface they really seem to believe it, underneath that, there's some shaky ground, yeah? Because nobody 100% knows. What I do have is a real deep felt intuition. There's something going on, yeah? Like, I don't think there's like a dude in the sky who has a little piece of paper that says Mark's job, right? But what I do feel is that there's something is going on. Like in my bones, in my gut, that there's some sense that like this area is more me than this area. This area is going to bring me more joy than this. This is going to help me make more people, more money, whatever than this. And it's an area for me. It's not a job description. Yeah, maybe for some people it's like vet, doctor. Not less of the people I coach, if I'm honest, are like that. It's more like an area that I need to play in to be fully myself, fully happy, fully contributing. And I have some sense that there's something going on that's a bit deeper than just my psychology. So I'm kind of spiritually agnostic around that. Another thing we could say is like I'm kind of Taoist about it. You've spelled Taoist if you've seen it that way. This kind of Chinese philosophy of there's some kind of flow, some kind of connection, and my job is to align myself with that. My job, and it's always changing as well. So again, it's not like a job, a purpose. Yeah, it's a flow that I need to align myself with. If on the on one level that is how it feels to me and many people I coach, rather than the sort of voice from God telling me I have to do this specific thing, and it's constantly changing. And this is where the body comes in as well. It's a feeling that I'm following and differentiating that simply from habits and more urges, So yeah, and again, I'm not certain about that. And I think that anyone who does these courses on life purpose and things like that, a lot of them to me just seem a bit on shaky ground because they seem so certain. And I think that part of being mature is accepting the fact that sometimes we don't know for sure. And this is where the kind of humanist or existential angle comes in. For me, there's a choice here. Yeah, I actually choose to be in the world as if I had a purpose. Yeah, whether that's true or not, I think it probably is, but whether it's true or not, that's a choice I make. I'm not a victim here, right? That's a choice I can make in terms of how I want to live. Because I just live better that way. I'm happier, I help more people, I make more money, blah, 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 blah. Yeah? Like I live better when I make that choice to act as if I had a purpose. So I'd say, if you're kind of skeptical about this, I get it. Part of the whole reason we've done this is because so much of this was like new age bollocks in this field. We wanted to do something which really would appeal to like guys like me who are skeptical, or my Russian friends or whatever, something which is people who were like, what, that you special chosen gift from God sounds like bollocks to me. But I have some sense that something's going on. So there's a position between this sort of new age kind of unicorn exceptionalism and total nihilism. Yeah, and I'd call that, you could call it a bit pretentious, but like existential humanist, you know, like there's a way in which I choose this for my own and other people's benefit. You know, existential humanist, Taoism, agnosticism, there's a lot of long words, but you get the idea. It's not about certainty. There's a sign, I believe it's one of the concentration camps, which says, I never want to be as certain as the people who made this place. Yeah? You know, certainty leads to crusades, and it also just isn't real. It isn't real. So I invite everyone on this course, you know, if you feel like, yes, I'd say actually loosen that a little bit, make some space around that. And if you're more like me, you're more like, hey, something's going on, then great. This is the right place for you, yeah? Let's follow that, let's deepen that. And if you're more like in the sort of nihilist camp of like, life means nothing, then I invite you into more like humanist camp of like, yeah, let's say life's totally meaningless, there's no kind of connection or higher power or anything like that, then just fucking make a choice. Make a choice to say, you know what, I'm gonna act like this is possible, because your life will improve, if nothing else. So yeah, that's our basic frame of how we're looking at purpose. You know, we're going to hit this from multiple angles. So this is a very kind of grown-up way of doing it. We're not going to say this is how it is. Yeah, so basically, you know, make your own mind up. We're not telling you how to think. This isn't a religion. And that's a frame I offer you in terms of this whole territory. Hope that makes sense.